Lechte alame, my language, my world. As many of you know, I speak Lebanese. For me, language is so much more than words. It's a way to display my culture, history, and heritage. Speaking Lebanese has been a way for me to connect with my culture and family in Lebanon, no matter how many miles away they are. And as Gibran Khalil Gibran, a famous writer, once said, Arabic is a language of philosophy, literature, art, and civilization. To me, it's a language that shares the history that has been created over the years and that is still being created. When many of you come home and speak English with your family, I strive to speak as much Lebanese as I can with mine. For me, Lebanese was my first language. I stepped into Ankoua in pre-K3 with a simple hello in my English vocabulary. Along with my sister, I was a challenge for Michelle in pre-K3, but luckily the bathroom cleanup song she sang helped us pick it up quickly. My parents wanted my siblings and I to fully grasp their language from a young age, since they knew we would pick up English very quickly. They were right. By the end of the first week of school, I was speaking and understanding fluent English. Well, at least what fluent English was for a 4-year-old. Picking up a different language quickly wasn't because I was born as a language genius, but rather because of the traditions I have with my family that not only encourage me, but also make me have to speak it. As none of you probably know, I go to Lebanon every summer. Many of my relatives live there, so not only do I get to hike up the breathtaking cedars of Lebanon, but I get to do it with my family. Now, if I said going to Lebanon had no impact whatsoever on my ability to speak fluent Lebanese, I'd be lying. It was among the greatest impacts that loud speaking becomes so natural for me. These trips to Lebanon strengthened my Lebanese and made me closer to my family, especially with my grandparents, or as I call them, my teta and jiddo. Now, although they understand and speak some English, it's easier for both my grandparents and me to communicate by speaking Lebanese. One of my favorite things I get to do when I go to Lebanon is go apple and cherry picking with my grandpa, which he plants himself in his garden. Now, this isn't just a small garden in his backyard, where a few tomatoes and strawberries grow here and there. No, not at all. I'm talking about acres of land with 60-feet cedar trees that stretch beyond the mountains, glistening raspberries, emerald olive trees, intertwining grapevines. He grows it all. Waking up, waiting for the sun to settle down, which never seems to go away, and eagerness to get out with my grandpa makes me grateful that I'm able to spend this time with him. Furthermore, being able to speak Lebanese truly makes me thankful because it allows me to talk with my grandpa for hours. We would sit on the balcony and admire the beauty of nature and our surroundings. From the mountains in the distance that seem so small, the beaming sun that stretches across the sky, the chirping birds that always seem to be around, to the brisk breeze that seems to cool you as it travels between the oak trees. There is so much to admire. Whenever I find the need to calm myself down, I step out on the balcony and sit next to him. Sometimes just sitting next to him in silence means the world to me. And sometimes I ask him questions such as, how old is that cedar tree in front of us? Or what grows best in the winter? He never fails to answer me in a way that makes his true love for nature evident. Now I know some of you might be thinking that talking about trees and vegetables for hours isn't that interesting. But to me, as long as I'm talking to my grandpa, I never get tired of it. But the topic never seems to matter, because just knowing that I'm sitting next to him and learning from him is enough for me. And all this wouldn't be possible if I didn't speak Lebanese. I wouldn't be able to make these memories with him. And lastly, this is perhaps the essential reason Lebanese comes easy to me. I embrace and love every part of it. At first, when I was younger, knowing another language didn't seem so special or important to me. But as I got older, I slowly began to discover the significance of my ability to speak it. I especially realized it whenever people find out I speak another language. They all always seem to have the same two reactions. The first one is, wow, it's amazing, so impressive. And the other is, it's going to be very useful when you're going to get a job. I always reply with a nod. I realize that I'm so fortunate because knowing another language comes with a great amount of benefits, besides getting a job. It not only allows me to communicate with people outside my immediate surroundings, but it also opens my eyes to new perspectives. It's been said that a different language is a different vision of life. This rings true to me because speaking a language means learning to know another culture from the inside. For me, that culture is Lebanon. Whatever language you choose to learn, it will be an ongoing adventure that changes how you see the world and how the world sees you. Also, it makes learning another language so much easier and keeps me open-minded. But most importantly for me, the best part is that I speak it the best out of my siblings. Right, Mom? I'm so grateful that I speak Lebanese, and I'm even more fortunate that I get to learn another language at Ankoua as well. I'm currently trying to expand my ability from speaking Lebanese to writing and reading as well. With an open mind, I hope I'll be able to achieve it. I truly encourage everyone to take advantage of learning a language when given the opportunity. I was lucky enough that I grew up with this language, but it's never too early or too late to learn. For me, speaking Lebanese brought me closer to my grandpa, and I'm sure it will bring you closer to something as well. Thank you.